Dream of empowering your kids with self-care? Let's make that dream a reality. My name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 6 degrees in my field, and they're all in the natural healthcare space. I'm currently in St. Lucia, which is why it sounds a little crazy right now. Dogs are barking and all kinds of other stuff, so bear with me. I wanted to shoot this outside. So, such a beautiful night. So if you're not familiar with me, welcome to my channel. And also too, I have tons of educational courses below. Please go ahead and click the link, and I teach from everything you could possibly think about. Self-care is definitely one of those things, and I'll be going over some tips in this particular video. So if you're interested in learning more about all kinds of things from nutrition to mental health, emotional health, detoxification, there's something really for everybody. So you want to empower your kids with self-care. First thing is you have to model behavior. What does that look like? You have to practice self-care with yourself. So making a consistent routine, putting yourself first, setting healthy boundaries. These are really incredibly vital tools and skills that your children want to and need to learn from you. And it's not always just what you're telling them, right? You really want to model that behavior for them so that they're observing that. I find first thing with self-care is about creating a structure for self-care. So instead of just letting your kids run into the bedroom first thing when you wake up and climbing on the bed, I know it's tempting. I know you love them. I know they love you, but really setting that positive boundary in place and saying, you know what? And obviously it depends on how old they are, but mommy is going to rest first. I will come and get you in your room. The other thing is creating time and space for your children to work independently with themselves, work with others if you have other children, have playtime. Having those structures in place with their schedule really helps them to feel safe, helps their nervous system feel safe. Even simple things like having a place where everybody's backpack goes, making sure that everybody's shoes are, right by the door. Putting those little things in place really helps with the nervous system, which can help with self-care strategies. These are all little subtle things that you can teach your kids and explain to them. This is a part of your self-care. This is a part of what we do in order to make sure that we're organized, make sure that we are healthy, make sure that, we stay calm and relaxed. So part of self-care too, in teaching them, is helping them to understand the world inside of themselves, validate and acknowledging what they're feeling, even if they can't necessarily come to terms with that type of communication, while also helping them to feel safe with their communication. Otherwise, what happens is you stifle their communication, you shut them down, they feel wrong, they feel bad, they feel guilty, and they internalize all of that, and they grow up, unfortunately, to be very stunted adults, and we don't want that. Lastly, teaching your children about their self-concept, who they choose to be. So you can practice all kinds of different things like, okay, who do you choose to be today? I choose to be strong. I choose to be happy. I choose to be, fill in the blank. And so helping them to understand that they get to choose who they're going to be in any given day, and that they are ultimately in charge of how they think and how they feel, and so they can be truly empowered. Tired of being reactive when it comes to your healthcare conditions? Let's talk about it. Over the years of really working with patients, I've discovered what the pain points are with human beings and what they need in order to help them heal holistically. What is it when we're in reactive cycle, right? We wait, and we neglect, and then all of a sudden we have these debilitating symptoms. We're not taking care of our bodies, we're not taking care of our minds, we're not taking care of our spirits, and then bam, I can't tell you how often people would come into my practice and they'd be like, this happened out of nowhere. No health condition, unless it's, an acute care situation like a car accident or some tragic accident, it doesn't happen out of anywhere. Chronic disease, even autoimmune driven diseases, they happen over time because it's a breakdown in the metabolism. It's a breakdown in the biochemistry. So instead of waiting until something becomes a problem, we want to be more proactive with our health instead of constantly just be managing our disease process. As you only see a medical doctor once a year, nothing against medical doctors, but they're not trained to really look in depth at your biochemical markers, meaning they're not trained to look at your nutrition and how you're digesting and assimilating and how your liver is functioning, other than, let's say, a cirrhosis or cell damage or something like that. They're not trained to look deeper. They're not trained to look at detoxification. They don't see that as a valid option, and nothing against their training. They're really great for acute care situations, like if you're in an accident or if you need surgery, or if if you have an advanced stage cancer, that absolute aggressive cancer that needs, some other pharmacological interventions, it can be very helpful and life-saving. I know it's saved mine. However, we as patients must be personally responsible with our health, which means we're not just going to be totally checked out and devoid, and then we roll into the doctor's office looking for them to save us and fix us, because that's not their role. And so if you go have your annual checkups, that's great. But remember, when they say that your labs are normal, all they're saying is there's no disease process to diagnose and manage, because that is their frame of reference. That is what they're trained to look for. They're trained to look for disease. So when you come in and they're like, oh, everything's fine, yes, it may be fine from their lens, but when we peel back the layers and we look more deeply at the lab panel, because my expert training is in clinical biochemistry, when I start to look at that, especially from a functional medicine lens, I begin to see, oh, this is the nutrient deficiencies. The patient's not breaking down proteins. The patient's not adequately processing their fats. They're eating too many fats. Their liver is sluggish. These are all these things that happen way before it becomes a disease process. And so we want to catch those things and have a more proactive mindset instead of reactive, because when we're proactive, we're doing the steps that it takes in order to heal. We're drinking the water, we're eating the protein, we're measuring our protein, we're moving our bodies, we're meditating, we're managing our emotions, we're doing all the things that help keep us well, right? What are some natural remedies that parents absolutely must have at home? I would say the first one is going to be oil of oregano. You can either use the dropper, or as I prefer, more of the little beads, which, they have the oil actually in the capsules. Herbs, etc., I think has a good brand for that. Most vitamin shops have a good brand for that. You want to look for about 500 milligrams when you're looking for that. And I know that's kind of high. If you have any issues, please click the link below for our natural pharmacy that we have ourselves, that you can access these. So why are we going to choose oil of oregano? So the reason is it's antimicrobial. So what that means is it can help with viruses, it can help with parasitic infections, it can help with bacteria, it can also help with any mold or yeast. So it's a really good general all over immunological agent. Now, you don't necessarily want to take it prophylactically, which is like preventative. So it's not like you want to start taking it every single day, especially if cough cold season comes in, because it can actually eat up healthy bacteria within your digestive tract. So you don't want to do that. So you really want to balance that out. But it's a really good heavy hitter if, let's say, the first day you're kind of feeling a little bit scratchy throat, or you're feeling kind of run down. That would be a really good day to be able to take it. I would do like 500 milligrams 2-3 times a day, knock it out with a drainer. If you don't know what a drainer is, that's the second thing. Spanish black radish, or even echinacea is a natural drainer. So you're going to kill whatever it is, and then you're going to drain it through the lymph system. And so that can be super helpful. In addition to the oil of oregano, I really love olive leaf. I love Energetics Core Olive Leaf. Olive leaf is an antiviral. It also helps with viral replication. It's a little bit of a more gentler version of the oil of oregano, which is why I tend to prefer it. I like it, especially for viruses that are in the system. That is really, really helpful. I enjoy using it. And also, too, it's not going to have the digestive issues. So I really enjoy using oil of oregano and also core olive leaf, because, again, the olive leaf is going to be lighter on the system. It's not going to be as deep. It's not going to be as harsh on the system too. You may not have all the side effects, and you can take it a little bit prophylactically, meaning a little bit ahead of cough, cold, flu season. Another Nature's Pharmacy item that I would recommend, would be oscillococcinum. So that is a homeopathic remedy. It's been touted for years and years and years as a miracle flu treatment. Really good if you're having body aches, if you're having just that overall rundown feeling from the flu. Now, I don't take it as it's recommended. I normally take 1 tube every 2-3 hours. So let's say if I I feel like, oh my gosh, I definitely feel this thing coming. That one you can use a little bit more prophylactically. But again, most of these things you're going to use when you actually need them for treatment. I also recommend Witch Clean Diet is high protein, lots of fruits and vegetables, those sorts of things. The other thing that I absolutely love in my Nature's Pharmacy is vitamin Vitamin C, of course, high dose vitamin C is always a good option to have. I know that's not herbal or homeopathic, it's more nutritional, but a 4,000 milligram vitamin C dose is incredibly important for prophylactic purposes. Naturally, it's to bowel tolerance. So if that's a little bit too much for you, you may want to, cut that in half. That's an adult dose, by the way. So you may want to do 2,000 milligrams for your kiddos. You can put it in water, and have them drink. There's some really good children's options. I know we have a few of those within our practice. So click the link below for that. Let me see another one. Garlic and mullein drops, I absolutely love, especially for ear infections, earaches. That can be incredibly helpful for any kind of ear infection. So first day, put a couple drops in there. Herbs, etc. has a great garlic and mullein blend. You just put it in there with obviously the Q-tip. Cold pack because you want to take the blood away initially, and then heat pack because you want to drain it down. So the cold pack is going to help with the lowering of inflammation, and then the heat pack is going to help drain that out. So also too, prophylactically, you don't want to take the garlic and mullein drops. Going back to the vitamin C, taking zinc is very helpful. So 25 milligrams of that will definitely do the trick to help. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot a comment below. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll organize all of my recommendations below so that you have them nice and easy. That will definitely get you started with your Nature's Pharmacy. And if you want any additional education about what you can use in terms of protocols, I do have a course on holistic sick care. And so it's all of my protocols that I have cultivated over years and years and years of treatment, of working with runny noses and earaches and all kinds of fun things. And so these are definitely proven supportive measures that are completely natural and definitely help you and your family live naturally.